A thread by Carlos Osuita. The funny thing about wacky internet claims is that reality is far more amazing than any scenario that fame-lusting weirdos put out there. This crappy hoax, for example, a missile with a tactical nuke hit the warehouse in the Beirut port. These people always use low-resolution videos and then put in computer-generated imagery, CGI. The reason they don't use high def is they don't want you to look too closely. I can identify this munition, GBU-31 Joint Direct Attack Munition, JDAM. It's 2,000 pounds. The light gray tail unit tells me what it is. See, light gray. The reality of Lebanon is incredible. Iran's precision missile project from YouTube, link in the description. Twitter is punishing me. I can't find my own thread. Hold on. There we go. In Syria, Israeli airstrike takes out an entire stockpile of missile warheads and explodes in one explosion. New technology. Link in the description, another YouTube video. Go check it out. So, Iran moved its missile factories to Lebanon and put them in the usual places, under houses, hospitals, schools, mosques, etc. The world said, what will Israel do? I'll tell you what. First, this. From the Jerusalem Post, IDF source, we'd evacuate 1 million Lebanese if war breaks out with Hezbollah. From the article, quote, in the event of a new conflict with Hezbollah, the IDF would seek to evacuate more than 1 million civilians in South Lebanon within 24 hours before proceeding to strike thousands of Hezbollah targets in some 240 villages and built-up regions, a senior military source said. If we have no choice, we have to evacuate 1 million, 1.5 million residents in Lebanon and act, the source said. That's the IDF being funny. It's not possible to evacuate 1.5 million people, much less 1.5 million hysterical, rage-filled Arabs in 24 hours. This was one of the greatest military deceptions of all time. Add this to that story from the Jerusalem Post. 4 million analytics clears minefields with artificial intelligence. From the article, quote, during a 2-year research period focusing on Israeli minefields, they found that approximately 80% of each field is actually clear of mines. Huh, imagine that. The Israelis secretly removed 80% of the minefields. Keep that in mind. Now we go to Lebanon. The Lebanese army used uniforms in M82 woodland pattern. It represents Lebanese pride. All Lebanese recognize it. In 2016, the Lebanese suddenly switched to what's called multicam. No explanation was given, but the armed forces made it a point to familiarize the public with the new pattern. These are Lebanese special forces being trained by Americans in Exercise Eager Lion 20. And Donald Trump did something that all the world's experts said was incredibly stupid. From YouTube, U.S. delivers armored vehicles to the Lebanese army. Trump donated the Bradley infantry fighting vehicles free of charge, no strings attached. Here they are in Lebanese camouflage. Everyone said, why? The Lebanese army is controlled by Hezbollah. You idiot, you're arming Hezbollah. There are 2 more pieces of the puzzle. Only one other country besides the US and Lebanon have the Bradley, Saudi Arabia. And the Saudis adopted multicam In 2015, that version is subdued, but they also have multicam identical to the Lebanese multicam. Recap: the Israelis chase Iran into Lebanon. Israel clears out 80% of the minefields, almost all of which are on the border with Lebanon. The Lebanese adopt the same uniform as the Saudis, and Trump donates to Lebanon armored vehicles that only the US and the Saudis have. How good are the Saudis and Emiratis at infiltration? On December 4th, 2017, former Yemeni dictator Ali Abdullah Saleh turned against the Iran-controlled Houthis. They killed him. No two reports of his death are alike. His nephew, Brigadier General Tarek Abdullah Saleh, was also killed. From news.sky.com, former Yemen president's nephew also killed in attack. Saleh's political party confirmed Brigadier General Saleh's death. Saleh's nephew, a military commander, killed during Houthi assault. uk.reuters.com. The general commanded the 3rd Brigade of the Republican Guard. He was extensively trained in Saudi Arabia, and as were all of his men. 5 weeks later, this disappeared nephew of Yemen's Saleh resurfaces in the south, foxnews.com. Here he is the day he reappeared. The Yemeni Republican Guard are incredibly well trained. Watch as one guardsman kills an entire squad of Iranian special forces and their Houthi lackeys. Link in the description. He's making headshots from the hip. I finally learned an example how Brigadier General Tariq Abdullah Saleh was rescued, and it's mind-blowing. I really can't reveal it, but I'll say that the rescue team and the general were disguised as Houthis. So, what happened in Lebanon was that Iran and Hezbollah were fooled into putting all their missile factories in Beirut. Gulf Arab commandos entered Lebanon from Israel disguised as Lebanese troops. They drove Bradley fighting vehicles. They also had AIFV C-25 infantry fighting vehicles, which the US had donated to Lebanon. The rest of the convoys would have been Humvees and M113s. The Gulf Arab commandos positioned themselves all around the city, and at the go signal, they went in and silently killed all the Hezbollah and Iranian missile builders. The final step was destroying the stockpile on the dock. Have you seen the total destruction videos? They're all like this. We might need to look at this one. All right, it's 3 minutes. Okay, so we have indoors, close. All right, guys. I think we get the idea here. No structural damage, tons of broken windows, messed up living rooms. That's it. Think I'm crazy? In the 2014 war in Gaza, the Israelis found and destroyed 28 Hamas attack tunnels used by specifically trained terrorists called Nokba. From January of 2016 to late October of 2017, somebody infiltrated Gaza and destroyed 32 attack tunnels, one at a time. They destroyed the Nokba training school and killed all of the instructors. Each tunnel was destroyed with all its Nokba in it, one at a time. That means 32 infiltrations and exfiltrations. The tunnels were destroyed from inside Gaza. It's a tiny police state where Hamas knows everything that's happening. The infiltrators got past them, in and out, 32 times. Hamas went insane. The tunnels were a state secret. Only one man knew of all their locations. Each Nokba unit knew about only its own tunnel. Each unit was responsible for maintaining it. The tunnels had sophisticated surveillance systems. Hamas published only one photo of a dead Nukba at his funeral. They'd stuffed all his dead holes, including his eye sockets, with cotton to keep everything from leaking out. His mouth was full of cotton, packed in. Hamas went nuts. They arrested, tortured, and killed everyone. It got so bad, the Nokba commanders defected to Israel, bringing maps and specs. Hamas never found out who blew up all their tunnels. Ghost soldiers. In October of 2017, the IDF took over the job of destroying attack tunnels. They found this doozy from Times of Israel. IDF destroys longest and deepest Hamas cross-border attack tunnel. This appears to be the last attempt Hamas made at building an attack tunnel. From JTA.org, Israel Army destroys mile-long Hamas tunnel used to target southern Israel. Attack tunnels, as a tactic, have been defeated. So, when you see superficial hoaxes like this, just laugh. The real stories are so stunning that nobody would dare make a movie of them. They'd seem too unbelievable.